Is it rolling, Bob? Ytpc. Greetings from the frozen north. I haven't been doing a lot of smoking lately because I don't smoke in the house and it's been too cold to sit outside. Pushing my luck today here, it's right around freezing. We had another 4 or 5 inches of light fluffy snow last night. Getting a little tired of this. But I figured I'd push the limits here a little bit today to observe International Pipe Smoking Day. Ipsd, not to be confused with PTSD, I guess. Certainly a much more pleasant idea. Haven't had a lot of good smokes lately, so I'm enjoying this. This is my refurbished, custom-built pot. And for this special occasion, I pulled out some Ipsd Balkan Supreme that I've had in a jar for about 11 months now. One of the first tobaccos that I jarred up after I started smoking again after a 40-year hiatus last winter. I'm sure I've told the story before, but how I got reintroduced to smoking was about a year ago watching a video, and it was right around International Pipe Smoking Day last year because somebody was talking about it, and I just missed it, or was at least unaware of the idea. And also right around that time was not long after matches had passed, and everybody was talking about that, and I just started seeing all these videos and started thinking about pipe smoking again. Of course, smoking Balkan Supreme in a custom built is something that Northwest pipe smoker Tom put me onto. Good combination. Drinking a little Earl Grey tea to try to stay warm out here. It's not too bad because it's not windy right now. It's you know, the wind is really what takes the fun out of being outside. Pardon me while I dig for a match in my box here. That's a match. Anyway, a couple of quick things. This tamper is something new, and this is the way I am. Started getting interested in pipe smoking a year ago, and falling down YouTube rabbit holes, I start looking at guys who are refurbishing pipes and turning pipes and working on lathes. So at some point I started messing around with fitting replacement stems on older pipes, and then I started gearing up with some equipment to do that, and then I said, you know, I should get a lathe. So I started looking around for used lathes on Craigslist and eventually found a really fine deal close to home here. not sure I'll ever get to the point of making pipes. Seems almost inevitable at this point, but I don't have plans along those lines just yet. I'd have to get some more gear. I'd have to get the proper jaws in the chuck I have to hold the blocks of briar. And I'm not ready to spring for the $80 or whatever it's going to be to do that. But I've been turning some other things, just getting started. I got a lot to learn. I did it back in high school shop class, which they apparently don't do anymore, but I learned a lot about all kinds of woodworking back then. But that was a long time ago, and luckily now we have YouTube, and there's many fine videos about wood turning on YouTube. I remember Jason Mouton, the pipe maker down in Louisiana, said, if you want to turn pipes, don't watch pipe making videos, watch wood turning videos. And I've been doing that. Again, I don't know how to make pipes or not. It's pretty complicated stuff. But anyway, so I made this this tamper. Yeah, the beauty thing about wood turning on a lathe is you can just get a piece of firewood or a log out in the woods or whatever, and use it. And I collected a bunch of firewood and whatnot from my woodlot up in northern Massachusetts, and this is a hunk of cherry that I used to turn this, and I've turned some pen bodies and some tool handles. Eventually I'd like to get into some bowls or something like that, but that's a little more involved. But that's just the way I am. I'll get into something, like when I got into pipe smoking, man, I was into it. I'm looking at videos and shopping for stuff on eBay and buying tobacco. And now that I can't smoke that much because of the weather, I've been doing a lot of wood turning stuff. That's how I go to sleep every night. I'm watching YouTube videos of somebody turning something on a lathe. But it's fun. When it's working well, when you're turning something and the tool is cutting right and those shavings are peeling off, it's very satisfying. Something about it. In other news, here in Massachusetts, they're having a real hard time with the rollout of the COVID vaccine. But they're starting to get a grip on it, and just this past week, they opened it up to seniors 65 and older. For a couple of weeks before that, it was 75 and older. Before that, it was first responders. So of course, my wife and I being 65 plus, we got all excited. But I knew exactly what was going to happen, and it certainly did, is that 65 thereabouts is right in the heart of the baby boom. So there's millions of us. And we all have computers. And sure enough, the site where you have to go online to register to get an appointment was just totally overwhelmed. The site kept crashing, and when you could get on, any available appointments were just snapped up almost instantly. Usually, by the time you filled in all the information, your name and address and age and Medicare number and everything, whatever was there is gone already. But my wife is very persistent. She got her appointment. We gave up on the idea of getting them together. And luckily, close by here at Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots, the formerly great Patriots used to play, still play, is our local mega site. So that's where we're trying to get appointments. And my wife got, as I said, she got hers, and I hope to get mine with some luck maybe this coming week. It'll be nice to have that underway, get the first shot, and then about 3 weeks later you get the second one, depending on which vaccine you get. 3 or 4 weeks, I think it is. And I'd like to get that. Being the morbid type, I was, for some reason, I was thinking about, I made it this far. It's just about a year now since this this pandemic kicked off, and I've been healthy. Everybody I know locally here has been okay. Friends of friends and stuff have had some problems, but nobody close to us has gotten sick, or at least very sick. And always being one to look on the bright side, I was, for some reason, thinking about John Kerry. Those of us old enough to remember the Vietnam War will remember when John Kerry, a war veteran, a war hero of some sort, who later went on to become a senator and Secretary of State and whatnot. As a young officer out of the Army, he was testifying before Congress about the Vietnam War. And he said, nobody wants to be the last person to die for a mistake, referring to the war. This is late in the war, and they were trying to wind things down. And for some reason, I was thinking, nobody wants to be the last person to die of COVID. So I just hope we all get our shots quick, and that the shots work, and none of these new variants become a major issue. So we can get out of this thing and get back to normal. We have a lot of living yet to do. Especially in our case with our new granddaughter, we've only seen her once, and that was back around Thanksgiving time. And we're hoping to get our shots so we can more easily get back down there to see how she's doing. This is working out well. I'm not too cold. Yeah, it gets cold. Just sitting here for half an hour or so smoking, it can get a little uncomfortable, but right now it's okay. The tea's good. The pipe is good. I don't know how well these Balkans blends age. This one being a year old, I assume it's at least a year old because it wasn't brand new when I got it. It's pretty darn nice. But I won't keep you. Just wanted to check in for International Pipe Smoking Day and hope everybody's well. I'm seeing a lot of videos out there. Oh, one more thing, since I'm prattling on. Gary, Holden in the Way, tagged me for one of these 5 blends videos. I haven't had a chance to make it yet, because I haven't been doing much smoking at all. I've been thinking about it, but it's hard for me because I've only been doing this for a year now. My familiarity with a large number of blends is not too deep. But once I get a few good days, I'll think about it some more and I'll give it a shot. If any viewers are in Texas, I hope you guys are doing okay. All the news has been about the extreme cold weather and snow and power outages and water system failures and all the other problems they're having down there, and it's been really tough. That kind of weather would be even extreme here in New England, but at least it's not unheard of. So, we pretty well have water systems and whatnot that can take the cold. And our power grid is probably more reliable than it is down there. Not to say we couldn't have problems, but again, we've had some experience with this kind of stuff, so it's not as much of a shock to the system as it would be in a place like Texas. So I hope the folks down there are doing okay now. I think it's warming up a bit. But I'll say goodbye for now and finish this pipe. Thanks for joining me.
Happy winter.